Do you want us to look at this, or do you want us to?
Yeah, I think we can look and talk. It's fine. It's already recording.
I'm going to look at you.
You can look at me. You can look into my eyes.
Look into your eyes.
This is great B-roll. We're sitting down. Hospitality Tech Expo. Hospitality Tech Expo, day 2. I have tracked him down. Christian, thank you.
They hoisted the flag,
yeah,
so you can know.
Whenever he's here, look for the flag and come to the stand. So we've talked a lot about Tenzo. We've talked a lot about Christian before, Why
don't we talk about you for once?
We can talk about me if you like. No, I'm good. I talk about me enough. I just don't talk enough to the camera. But we're going to talk about the new stuff, because you always give me some little snippets of what's happening. So I'd really like to hear some new stuff. So most people already know Tenzo, which is great. So you don't need to introduce yourself, which is good. Most people come on my podcast already know Tenzo,
I know,
which is really nice.
And I promise you I'm not paying anyone. I think it's 10 out of the 25 someone called us out.
I think more is coming. So which shows testament to the product. So
that's good. Thank you, and thank you for doing that. I think the whole show is really good now.
Thank you. Well, to be fair, you'll have to come back on when there's like another 1,000 features, because it's just keep going. On that note, if you can tell everyone or me the new stuff that's come out or coming out, or is it already live?
Yeah, we've got a bunch of stuff that's already live. So we've been working a lot for our customers in terms of making sure that they can customize all their reports. So all of the self-serve features are out, where you can go and build pretty much whatever report you want to now. You can put it on a dashboard. You can send it out automatically to your GMs. Your GMs will then be able to see that for the specific permissions that they have. So if they only see one site, they'll see the data for their site. The other feature that's just launched is alerts. This is the freaking coolest thing. I freaking love it. And when I was running Hummus Brothers, this is what I wanted. I didn't want to look at every freaking report and be like, is this good? Is this good? I wanted to be able to automatically set thresholds where I'd be notified if we're above. So
the important stuff, right?
The important stuff. So let's say you get Tenzo to forecast your sales using AI, pushes it into your labor tool, planned day workforce, rota ready, etc.
Yeah.
We then can pull the planned labor and compare it to your forecast and alert you before the week starts, saying you get an automatic notification as the area manager saying, hey, your store in Soho is overstaffed or understaffed, and you can address that before. So
that's immediate stuff even before you've opening, right?
Exactly.
So you can make positive change and save some money, basically, right, as well.
Totally. So we've done a ton on that front, which is like all the visible bit there. We're also doing a lot. So, we're aggregating, then analyzing and predicting, and then driving action on the aggregation of the data, where there's so much to do, because you're bringing in all this data and you need to make sure people trust the data. Yeah. And so we're bringing in a lot of technology there to really make sure that you can trust it. So we're proactively checking that data is coming.
Like clean data, basically.
It's clean data, and we're starting to layer in AI on that to really be able to understand, like, okay, can we get notified ahead of time, like when there's going to be not clean data coming in, so that we can make sure that the customer is really confident about that. So there's a lot happening on that front. This is the future, dude.
It's the future. I think the one thing I quite like about the platform is you're continuously evolving. And it's not just, with Tenzo, we do this. And every time I speak to you, there's always more, which is great. And I did come to your little partner thing a little while ago, and I heard some of this before, which was pretty awesome. So I think that the thing I really like is that you've actually put... Are you beta testing stuff with like some customers, and are they having positive change in how it's being changed as well?
So what we have now, like a really slick release in terms of the product, because we'll go through an alpha, then we'll go through beta. So there'll be a handful of customers that we bring in to just try it out. Then that helps us iron out all the bugs, and then when we go live, it's tested. It's like road tested. But like the bit also I'm really excited about is starting to think about how we're layering AI in many different ways next year, like being able to like really generate your reports based off a prompt, being able to like...
So natural language stuff as well,
Natural language stuff, making sure that we're thinking about how do we think about checking the data when it's coming in, being able to automatically fetch thresholds in your data, so not even you having to think about, okay, well, I want to set this threshold, so like coming up with that automatically. There's so many use cases that we're testing now and that we're excited about.
There's a lot of features that if you're really au fait with Tenzo, you would be in the back end doing it yourself. But if a new customer comes in who doesn't know the full suite of it, those tools are really going to help. The bigger ones and the smaller ones, to be fair, it's like an autopilot, right? Is that basically maybe the plan, to have like an autopilot or a little sprite in the background?
Yeah, we've debated the whole sprite thing. I mean, I think there was a good talk earlier on AI generally, and just really making sure that it's useful, and that's something that we're really thinking about deeply. Is like we don't want it just to look cool and be
Yeah.
like exciting, right? We want to make sure that it's actually delivering the results. And there's some really interesting use cases that you can use it for that we're really validating to make sure that actually the value you're going to get is not something that someone's going to play for like a couple of hours and they'll be, oh, that's cool, and then they forget about it. So we're spending a lot of time on that.
Sorry to talk about like money-wise, but is that an additional bolt-on, or are you wrapping it into the cost of the platform?
So generally, we're still debating that bit a little bit,
Yeah.
but there's a lot, when we release new features like this, to us, it's just like continuous improvement of the product.
Amazing.
That just comes in. It doesn't it's not like, oh, there's a new feature.
Yeah.
I think there are some cases where if we're going to have to incur an extra cost to be able
of
to
course,
do that, then
tools.
it might be something that we'll be charging extra for.
Yeah.
But generally,
I love that though.
I
That's
think,
really nice to, if you're making the product better, you're giving it to your customers, they see the value in the product, and you're keeping the customer.
Yeah.
So I think that's
and they're raving about it to the next people.
Everyone's
I mean, I was loving it yesterday when we had Tommy from Honest calling us out, and then we had.
And then William.
But by the way, he called you out, and you were on your phone. What was that about? And then we had William also calling us out from Noble Group and Wingstop. I think like there's some really nice
I think this
momentum
year they've done a good job with the talks.
Yes.
Because the operators who are really taking the tech progressively have really talked about it, and those two talks specifically had a really great amount of people in, and everyone responded with great, and then people obviously taking photos of everything. So I think
that what was so good about it is not only do those people understand the tech and understand the hospitality side, but they also were giving specific advice. Tommy was saying, this is how I go and shop for tech. These are the things you should check out. This is how you negotiate with them. This is how you're going to have to roll it out. And I think that's super
there's no selling,
actionable.
Right?
And there's no selling.
Yeah.
But I think if I was a restaurateur today walking into this place, I'd be like, oh,
so overloaded.
God,
the amount of POS providers, the amount of
labor tools,
everything, it's mental now.
Inventory tools. And all of them have their pros and cons, right? But as a restaurateur, I'm just like, how do I choose? And I think Tommy is guide there. And I think Chris at Tech Expo is also talking about doing that, which I'm really looking forward to.
Well, his Totty thing is really clever.
Yeah.
So you can WhatsApp the message. And you can say, what's the best analytical tools? What's the best this? And it will come back with...
I haven't tried it out yet. I need to try this out.
Me too. He said it yesterday. He said, we've been sending it some really dodgy queries and seeing what comes out. So asking what's the best POS to see what actually comes out. And it's interesting
Is
to
it
see.
the one that sponsors...
No. I think Totti's agnostic. But no, it's really interesting. Same with the podcast. So if you type in Totti, what did Christian from Tenzo say? The podcast, all the podcasts have been ingested into it.
Oh, nice. That's
really
cool.
clever.
That's
but anyway,
really
this is Christian, this is Tenzo. Come say hello. Well, it's probably it's coming out tonight, so they won't come say hello. But visit their website, Tenzo. No, get Tenzo.
No, go Tenzo. Go Tenzo.
Go Tenzo.com.
Or just Google Tenzo.
Yeah, it'll be at the top anyway. But thank you very much. Thank you very much. Say goodbye to everyone.
Bye bye. Thanks.